Hello again, friends, and welcome back to my channel. My name's Amy, and I'm glad you decided to join me for chapter 27 of the book I wrote. If you're interested in finding out where to buy this book and other fun things about this book, I will be talking about them after the video. So I hope you will stay tuned for that. So without further ado, let's just continue on with this story. Chapter 27. By now, the prince and John arrived at the Western Plains. The prince asked John to take him to his residence. John obeyed. June was out working the land when she spied two riders approaching the path. She tossed her garden tool aside and came hurriedly to meet them. When she recognized who they were, she clasped both hands to her mouth in disbelief. "John, is that really you?" she whispered. The husband got off his horse. Nero did the same. John trotted over and embraced his wife. Prince Nero patiently waited. After they broke their embrace, Nero spoke. "See, June, I kept my word and have returned him to you." June had tears flowing down her cheeks. She disentangled from her husband and stepped near him. "I am grateful to you, my lord," she said, and reached out her hand and took his and kissed the top of it a few times. He shook his head. Now, June, I've learned the truth, and the real thief is going to be apprehended shortly. My wizard did put a spell on him to be obedient, but it will wear off soon." The wife swiveled her head and looked at her husband. He had fresh clothes and overall looked in pretty good health. June peered at Nero. "Thank you for telling me that. You didn't have to, but you did. I appreciate that." John didn't like the fact that his wife was talking with the prince. He strode up to them and put an arm protectively around June's shoulders. "Come, June, let's go inside where I can help you prepare something for us to eat. Traveling has made me peckish." Nero raised a dark brow and said nothing. Just then his raven landed on his arm. June smiled at Nero. John turned and strode off towards his house. The wife remained. She followed her husband with her eyes. "Do forgive my John. He can get grumpy when his stomach is empty. Would you like to stay?" Would you like to stay?" Nero didn't look at June directly. Instead, he slowly began to stroke his bird and talk to it. "Would you like to stay, old friend?" The raven just tilted his head and just blinked. "That's what I thought. My answer is no. I'm sure your husband is tired of being around me." June shook her head and touched his hand in a friendly gesture. He smiled back up at her. "Tell John he may keep the horse and the clothes as payment for his time with me." June watched him climb back on his magnificent steed. She waved to him until he was too small to see. June then turned and went inside her home. Little did June know that Nero still had plans that included her husband. So that is all the chapter for today. Thank you so much for listening. If you are enjoying this book and want a copy to read along with me or on your own, it can be found on Amazon.com, BarnesandNoble.com, Apple iBooks, and lots of other places are sold. I also have a website dedicated to all things about my book. There are lots and lots of fun articles with various topics, including how I created the name of Leon and Castilla, to an article where I talk about Nero, Rifa, and Blinken, my three baddies. The last article that I wrote, which is just today, is about death and how I use it and how I write about it and the thinking process. So if all that sounds interesting and good to you, please go check that out. Like I said, it's a Facebook page called Legends Orbs of the Elements. I try to write an article Monday through Friday, all about different things. And like I mentioned, it makes me so happy to write about it and to share how my writing process works and more in depth about characters and the settings of stories. I also try, and I think I do a pretty good job at writing non-spoiler articles. So if you are enjoying the story and don't want to get spoiled by anything, that will not be the case. So, like I said, go check that out if you are interested. I just really, really love sharing this story with you guys. I put a lot of heart and soul into it, and I'm also working on a sequel to this story. It is going to be called Legends 2 Rise of the Soul Collectors. Ooh. So if you like this story and want to continue it, I am working on a sequel, which is very cool. You can also find out more, not only fun stuff about me and that, I do have an Instagram channel where I do all sorts of fun pictures of my life and my cats and all different kinds of fun things. If you would like to subscribe to my channel, I do book reviews or book chats. I do Disney content. I do seasonal content. So if any of that sounds good to you, please subscribe to my channel, share with friends and family, and as they say in my book, may the elements protect you. Until tomorrow's reading, bye-bye for now, everybody.